Is one step forward, then one step back today in the jury selection for the Karen Read trial. WBZ's Kristina Rex sitting through this entire process. She's live in Dedham tonight with the very latest. Kristina.
Yeah, David, you put it perfectly. You know, you win some, you lose some, and that's exactly what happened today. One juror from earlier in the week dropped out. Another juror was added. So still, at the end of the week now, 10 jurors have been seated for this trial.
Could opening statements in Karen Read's retrial come as early as next week? On Friday, just one new juror was seated, but one was also lost, keeping the total at 10 out of a desired 16 jurors.
Good, Ted, good.
Of 72 jurors questioned, 66 had heard of the case, 43 formed an opinion, and 12 felt biased toward one side. Lawyers and the judge had predicted jury selection could take weeks, but ending week one with 10 jurors is a promising sign things could move quicker.
The progress we've made is impressive.
Outside the Dedham courthouse, a number of lawsuits related to this case.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
State police, the judge, and others are being sued by Free Karen Read supporters and local YouTubers for their role strictly enforcing a buffer zone set in place by the judge. In federal court in Boston Friday, a lawyer for Free Karen Read protesters argued that they should get to peacefully and quietly protest closer to the courthouse.
Like, I do freelance photography. I can't even stand there and take a picture without the threats of being arrested.
And Karen Read is taking her case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, asking it to drop 2 of her charges because jurors said they privately voted to acquit her the first time.
Karen, why appeal to the Supreme Court? What went into that decision?
I was acquitted on 2 charges.
First, the Supreme Court has to decide if it'll even take her case out of the thousands of requests it gets.
They likely won't grant cert when you have 4 courts below you that have come to the same conclusion. And the case law is pretty clearly not in favor of Ms. Read's position.
And there's no real timeline or deadline for the Supreme Court, so we won't really know when a real update on whether or not they'll take Karen Read's case will happen. Back here in Dedham, jury selection begins back up on Monday morning. Live in Dedham, Kristina Rex, WBZ News.